The Kansas City Chiefs' biggest questions heading into training camp. As the Kansas City Chiefs gear up for the 2025 NFL season, they face a pivotal moment in their franchise history. With Patrick Mahomes no longer leading the charge, the team enters a new era filled with uncertainty and opportunity. Training camp will be the first real test of how the Chiefs plan to navigate this transition. Here, we explore the critical questions surrounding the quarterback position, defensive adjustments, roster rebuilding, Andy Reid's leadership, and the team's playoff prospects. The new quarterback era. How does the Chiefs' offense adapt without Mahomes' magic? Patrick Mahomes' unparalleled playmaking defined the Chiefs' high-octane offense, creating a dynamic system that thrived on his improvisation and precision. Without him, the offense must redefine itself. Andy Reid's scheme, built on quick passes, deep shots, and creative play calling, relied heavily on Mahomes' ability to extend plays and make split-second decisions. The new quarterback will need to operate within a more structured framework, leaning on playmakers like Travis Kelce, if he returns, and emerging talents like Rashee Rice. Expect a shift toward a more balanced attack, with an increased emphasis on the running game led by Isaiah Pacheco to reduce pressure on the quarterback. Who will be the starting quarterback? Shane Buechele or a surprise draft pick? Shane Buechele, a reliable backup with limited starting experience, is the current frontrunner to take the helm. His familiarity with Reid's system and solid decision-making make him a safe choice, but his ceiling appears limited compared to Mahomes. Meanwhile, the Chiefs' 2025 draft strategy could shake things up. A high-profile quarterback prospect, potentially a mobile, high-upside player like Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, could challenge Buechele for the starting role. Training camp will be critical in determining whether Buechele's experience trumps a rookie's potential or if the Chiefs opt for a bold, youth-driven approach. Can the offensive line provide sufficient protection for the new signal caller? The Chiefs' offensive line, anchored by players like Joe Thuney and Creed Humphrey, has been a strength in recent years. However, a less mobile quarterback than Mahomes may expose weaknesses in pass protection, especially against aggressive AFC West pass rushers like Max Crosby. The line's ability to gel and protect a potentially inexperienced starter will be a focal point in camp. Any injuries or inconsistencies, particularly at tackle, could spell trouble for an offense already adjusting to a new quarterback. A shifting defense. Can the Chiefs maintain their defensive dominance despite losing key players? The Chiefs' defense, under Steve Spagnuolo, has been a quiet strength, often overshadowed by Mahomes' brilliance. However, the departure of key players, hypothetically, as specific 2025 roster changes are unclear, could strain this unit. Veterans like Chris Jones remain the backbone, but losing depth at linebacker or in the secondary could force younger players into prominent roles. Training camp will reveal whether the Chiefs' defensive schemes can maintain their aggressive, turnover-forcing identity despite potential personnel gaps. Is the young secondary ready to step up into a bigger role? The Chiefs boast a talented but youthful secondary, with players like Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson showing promise. Without Mahomes' offensive firepower to control games, the secondary will face increased pressure to prevent big plays. Training camp matchups against the Chiefs' own receivers will test whether these young defensive backs can handle top-tier talent. Their ability to communicate and adapt to Spagnuolo's complex coverages will determine if they can carry the defense forward. Will the pass rush remain as potent without Frank Clark? Frank Clark's departure, assumed for this scenario, leaves a void in the Chiefs' pass rush. While George Karlaftis and Charles Omenihu have shown flashes, the unit lacks a proven, game-changing edge rusher. Training camp will highlight whether younger players or new additions can step up opposite Chris Jones, who remains a disruptive force inside. The Chiefs may experiment with creative blitz packages to compensate, but the pass rush's effectiveness will be a critical storyline. Rebuilding the roster. Will the Chiefs target high-profile free agents or focus on developing young talent? General Manager Brett Veach faces a delicate balancing act. Pursuing high-profile free agents could provide immediate stability, particularly at skill positions or on the offensive line, but it risks straining the salary cap. Alternatively, the Chiefs have a strong track record of developing young talent, as seen with players like L'Jarius Sneed and Isaiah Pacheco. Training camp will offer clues about Veach's strategy, whether the team leans on veterans to plug holes or trusts its draft picks to grow into starring roles. Can they fill the void left by Mahomes' departure through strategic acquisitions? Replacing Mahomes is impossible, but strategic acquisitions could soften the blow. A veteran wide receiver or a versatile tight end to complement Kelce, if he remains, could diversify the offense. Defensively, a proven cornerback or pass rusher would bolster Spagnuolo's unit. Training camp will showcase how new additions integrate with the existing roster and whether they can elevate the team's ceiling in a post-Mahomes era. How will the team's salary cap situation impact roster decisions? The Chiefs' salary cap situation, complicated by Mahomes' massive contract, now presumably off the books, will shape their roster. Freeing up cap space could allow for aggressive moves, but long-term commitments to players like Jones and Kelce may limit flexibility. Training camp will reveal how Veach prioritizes resources, whether investing in depth, locking up young talent, or saving cap space for 2026. Coach Reid's challenge. Can Andy Reid continue his winning ways without Mahomes? Andy Reid's Hall of Fame caliber coaching has been a constant for the Chiefs, but Mahomes' departure tests his adaptability. Reid's ability to win with quarterbacks like Donovan McNabb and Alex Smith suggests he can succeed without a superstar, but the stakes are higher now. Training camp will show whether Reid can instill confidence in a new quarterback and maintain the Chiefs' winning culture. Will Reid adapt his offensive playbook to suit the new quarterback? Reid's playbook, tailored to Mahomes' unique skill set, may need an overhaul. A less dynamic quarterback could prompt a shift toward shorter passes, play action, and a stronger ground game. Training camp will be a proving ground for Reid's ability to simplify or reimagine his scheme while preserving its creativity. Expect heavy involvement from Pacheco and the tight ends to ease the transition. How will Reid's experience and leadership guide the Chiefs through this transition? Reid's experience navigating quarterback changes, from Philadelphia to Kansas City, gives him a blueprint for success. His leadership will be crucial in maintaining team morale and focus. Training camp will highlight Reid's ability to rally the roster, instill discipline, and foster competition, ensuring the Chiefs remain a cohesive unit despite the loss of their star. The road to the playoffs. Will the Chiefs be contenders or pretenders in a competitive AFC West? The AFC West remains a gauntlet, with teams like the Chargers and Raiders vying for supremacy. Without Mahomes, the Chiefs' margin for error shrinks, but Reid's coaching and a stout defense could keep them competitive. Training camp will reveal whether the Chiefs have the depth and chemistry to contend or if they'll struggle to match their division rivals' firepower. Can the Chiefs capitalize on a weakened division without Mahomes? If the AFC West shows signs of regression, say, due to injuries or quarterback inconsistencies, the Chiefs could seize the opportunity. A strong running game and opportunistic defense could be enough to steal wins. Training camp will test the Chiefs' ability to execute a more conservative, grinded-out style that capitalizes on opponents' mistakes. Will the Chiefs' legacy continue to flourish despite the loss of their star quarterback? The Chiefs' dynasty, built on Mahomes' brilliance and Reid's genius, faces its greatest challenge. Yet, Kansas City's infrastructure, coaching, front office, and fan support remains elite. Training camp will set the tone for whether the Chiefs can extend their legacy through resilience and reinvention or if they'll take a step back in a post-Mahomes world. Conclusion. The 2025 training camp is a defining moment for the Kansas City Chiefs. With a new quarterback, a reshaped roster, and a legendary coach at the helm, the team faces a myriad of questions. How they answer them, through competition, adaptation, and execution, will determine whether the Chiefs remain a powerhouse or begin a new chapter of rebuilding. All eyes will be on St. Joseph, Missouri, as the Chiefs take their first steps into an uncertain but exciting future. Analyzing the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback options for 2025. The Kansas City Chiefs stand at a crossroads as the 2025 NFL season approaches. With Patrick Mahomes' contract expiring, the franchise faces the monumental task of replacing a generational talent. Mahomes' departure marks the end of an era defined by Super Bowl victories and dazzling playmaking. As the Chiefs prepare for training camp, the search for a new quarterback takes center stage. This article explores the implications of Mahomes' exit, evaluates internal and external quarterback options, identifies the ideal characteristics for his successor, and considers the road ahead for a franchise navigating uncharted waters. The Mahomes era is over. Patrick Mahomes' contract expiration in 2025 closes a chapter that redefined the Chiefs' legacy. A multiple-time Super Bowl champion and MVP, Mahomes secured his place as a future Hall of Famer with his rocket arm, uncanny improvisation, and clutch performances. His ability to turn broken plays into highlight reel moments made the Chiefs' offense a juggernaut, elevating Andy Reid's system to new heights. However, with his departure, Whether due to financial constraints, a trade, or another unforeseen factor, the Chiefs must confront the reality of life without their star. Replacing Mahomes is a daunting challenge. His unique blend of athleticism, vision, and charisma set a standard few can match. The Chiefs front office, led by Brett Veach, must now balance short-term competitiveness with long-term stability, all while navigating a passionate fanbase accustomed to excellence. The 2025 offseason and training camp will be pivotal in determining whether Kansas City can sustain its winning culture. Potential internal solutions. Shane Buechele, a promising but unproven option. Shane Buechele, a backup quarterback with limited NFL starts, represents the most immediate internal solution. Buechele has shown flashes of potential in preseason games and practice, displaying a solid grasp of Reid's complex offense. His quick release and decision-making align with the Chiefs system, but his lack of experience raises questions about his ability to handle the pressures of a full season. Training camp will be critical for Buechele to prove he can step out of Mahomes' shadow and lead the team. While he offers stability, his ceiling may not match the franchise's ambitions. Chris Oladokun, a long shot for the starting role. Chris Oladokun, another backup on the roster, is further down the depth chart. A 7th-round pick in 2022, Oladokun has spent most of his time developing behind Mahomes and Buechele. His athleticism and arm strength are intriguing, but his readiness to take on a starting role remains questionable. Without significant improvement in training camp, Oladokun is likely to remain a developmental prospect rather than a serious contender for QB1. Drafting a QB, finding a diamond in the rough. The Chiefs could turn to the 2025 NFL Draft to address their quarterback needs internally in the long term. While no prospect in the 2025 class is projected to rival Mahomes' talent, players like Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, or Jalen Daniels could fall within Kansas City's reach. Drafting a young quarterback would allow Reid to mold a player in his system, but it carries risks. A rookie may struggle to adapt to the NFL's speed and complexity, especially under the weight of replacing a legend. Training camp would serve as a proving ground for any drafted quarterback to compete with Buechele and demonstrate starter potential. External candidates. Free agent market. Veteran stopgaps. The free agent market offers a range of veteran quarterbacks who could provide short-term stability. Jimmy Garoppolo, known for his efficiency and experience in high-pressure situations, could thrive in Reid's system, though his injury history is a concern. Ryan Fitzpatrick, if still active, brings leadership and a gunslinger mentality, but his inconsistency and age, he be 42 in 2025, make him a risky choice. Other potential free agents, like Sam Darnold or Carson Wentz, could be reclamation projects, but none inspire confidence as a long-term solution. Training camp would test a veteran's ability to quickly grasp Reid's playbook and gel with the Chiefs' playmakers. Trade options. A proven starter. Acquiring a proven starter via trade is another avenue. A quarterback like Trey Lance, if he revitalizes his career elsewhere, or a disgruntled starter seeking a fresh start could be available. The Chiefs' trade assets, including draft picks and cap space freed up by Mahomes' departure, could facilitate a blockbuster deal. However, trades carry financial and cultural risks, as a new quarterback would need to adapt to Kansas City's system and fan expectations. Training camp would reveal whether a traded quarterback can command the huddle and execute Reid's vision. Drafting a QB, betting on a top prospect. If a top quarterback prospect unexpectedly falls in the 2025 draft, the Chiefs might pounce. A player with high upside, like a dual-threat quarterback reminiscent of Mahomes, could be worth a trade-up. The challenge lies in identifying a prospect with the right mix of skills and intangibles to thrive under Reid's tutelage. Training camp would be the first opportunity to assess whether a high-profile rookie can handle the spotlight and compete with internal options like Buechele. Ideal characteristics for the next Chiefs QB. The Chiefs' next quarterback must possess a specific skill set to succeed in Reid's system and fill the void left by Mahomes. Key characteristics include pocket presence and mobility. While no one can replicate Mahomes' wizardry, the next quarterback needs enough mobility to escape pressure and extend plays. Reid's offense often relies on the quarterback creating outside the pocket, whether scrambling for first downs or throwing on the move. A quarterback with strong pocket presence and the ability to evade pass rushers, like Russell Wilson in his prime, would fit well. Strong arm and accuracy. The Chiefs' offense thrives on stretching the field vertically and horizontally. The new quarterback must have a strong arm to deliver deep balls to speedsters like Xavier Worthy and precise touch for short to intermediate routes to players like Travis Kelce. Accuracy under pressure, especially in tight windows, is non-negotiable to maintain the offense's explosiveness. Leadership qualities. Replacing Mahomes requires more than physical talent. It demands a quarterback who can inspire teammates and handle adversity. The ability to command the huddle, rally the team after losses, and embrace Kansas City's passionate fanbase is critical. A natural leader, like Tom Brady or Drew Brees in their primes, would help maintain the Chiefs' winning culture. Final thoughts. The road ahead. There are no easy answers for replacing Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs face a complex decision, balancing the immediate need for competitiveness with the long-term goal of building a new franchise cornerstone. Internal options like Shane Buechele offer familiarity but limited upside, while Chris Oladipo remains a long shot. External candidates, whether through free agency or trades, provide experience but come with risks. Drafting a quarterback could yield a future star, but the 2025 class may lack a surefire prospect. The 2025 offseason and training camp will be critical in shaping the Chiefs' future. Andy Reid's track record of developing quarterbacks and Brett Veach's savvy roster management provide hope, but the path forward is fraught with uncertainty. Each option, internal, external, or draft, carries its own risks and rewards. As the Chiefs navigate this transition, their ability to identify and develop a new quarterback will determine whether they remain contenders or enter a rebuilding phase. The post-Mahomes era begins now, and all eyes will be on Kansas City to see who takes the reins.